All right. So, hello and thank you everyone for joining us today. Um, we are recording this, so if you have any concerns about the recording, now would be the time to drop off. My name is Michael Gummel from Paradigm Technology Consulting, and today we will be hearing from Bill.com. Bill.com is a leading provider of cloud-based software that simplifies and automates back-office processes. Over the last number of years, we at Paradigm have been getting a lot of calls in regards to AP automation. So this is a great solution for you to take a look at, see if it matches up with your needs. Today from Bill.com, we have Mitchell Yee and Carol Amos. Mitchell, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you. But before I do, I just wanted to remind everybody you are on mute. If you do have any questions, please put those in the chat and we will make sure we get to those. With that, Mitchell, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate the introduction and appreciate the chance to collaborate with Paradigm Technology Consultants and work with your clients and discuss AP automation and digital payments revolution. And what this webinar really is going to be about is cutting costs, reducing risk, and turn AP into a data source. I'm Mitchell Yee, Senior Manager, Channel Partnerships here. It is June 24th, 2021. And just a quick little bit about me, I've been at Bill.com for over 9 years and have been working with strategic partners such as Paradigm and Dynamics clients such as yourselves to really help automate back office solutions. And so I've had many years of practice in this and glad to share the knowledge that we've done here over at Bill.com over the past 15 years and how we've helped over hundreds of thousands of clients just streamline their back office. And today's agenda briefly here, what we'll kind of cover is a little bit about what finance teams need, digital payments, how AP automation fits today's needs. And we'll introduce a little bit about Bill.com, including a kind of a teaser view of some of the screenshots of Bill.com itself. And we'll open it up for Q&A. If you do have any questions, please do put them in the chat. We'll make sure to monitor that and answer them as we go. So really today, what we're looking at is finance teams, and really, anywhere from CFOs to VP of finance to accountants. Really, in the past year, priorities have been upended all over the place. The focus of a finance function quickly moved to having better information faster so that you can manage the business depending on the current conditions. One of those places to gain efficiency is by using technology. Technology can boost productivity, streamlining processes by automating manual and repetitive work. Supply insight for better and faster decisions by integrating the financial tech stack, gaining real-time reporting and insights. Streamlining processes and gaining real-time visibility into the cash flow lets them focus resources on their core mission, really getting people out of mundane work, data entry, tracking, manual process, and allowing them to focus on something that's more critical for the company. When we think about places to gain efficiency, people often overlook an area where you can reduce risk, save money, and that is your payments process. And we're going to kind of open it up here to a quick poll question. And the poll question is, what types of payments do you process now? Your options are checks, ACH, credit cards, international wire, cryptocurrency. I'll go ahead and leave this up here for about 30 seconds to a minute. Give people time to answer the poll question.
And you can mark multiple selections on that as well.
Carol, can you mark multiple selections on there?
Yeah, that's the way we set it up. So
okay.
Yeah, multiple are are possible.
Thank you.
So,
And if people aren't seeing the poll question, it's actually in the meeting chat.
All right, I'll leave it up just for a few more seconds here. All right. Perfect. Thank you for all the responses on there. Looks like a majority is check and ACH. When we look at B2B payment types, there are many different types of payments you can make. ACH payments are digital payments made through automated clearinghouse. And that's why it's called ACH. A secure system for bank-to-bank transfers. A typical ACH transfer takes anywhere from a few hours to a few days to clear. These transactions don't happen in real time, but they are faster and involve less manual than paper checks and incur lower fees to receive than credit cards. Credit cards are another type of payment. Card payments, travel, entertainment, fleet, P cards operate the same way as business to consumer cards. They provide one of the fastest payment options, but they are one of the most expensive options for the receiver. There's also virtual card. A virtual card is a one-time 16-digit credit card token that functions as a proxy for a physical credit card. So it's very similar to a credit card, except for it's a one-time use. The virtual card really allows for more protection. It is easy to use. It is a fast payment, but it's also very expensive for the receiver to have as well to have accept credit card payments. Another option is paper checks. Paper checks are a very familiar form of B2B payments, and they may be why people really kind of see the ease of use of doing paper checks. But the reality of a paper check is it's just overlooked in time consuming. It takes slow days to settle. It just can be a very long and costly process. And it is a very costly process on the back end when you have people printing out reports and checks, having someone sign those checks, get them back to the person to stuff the envelope and put the stamp on and mail it out. That takes a long time. And then it can take weeks, if not sometimes months, for the vendor to actually deposit the check, leaving you guessing on your cash balance and having to forecast for future balances and bills to be paid. They're also easy to steal, forge, or lose. With businesses using paper check, they put themselves at high risk for account fraud, check fraud, and they touch a lot of hands, not just in your office, but within the vendor's office and everything in between there. Multiple people at a post office, sitting in a post office box. A lot of those things can be taken right there. And that's all anyone ever needs is just the hassle of dealing with fraud. And once you deal with fraud, that check that maybe cost just a little bit to get out the door now costs you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to correct with time and fraud securities that you have to go through with your bank. It takes a long time to do. The other option is bank wires. Bank wires is a form of EFT. It's electronic fund transfer, which is just what it sounds. It transfers the funds electronically from one bank to another without any paper money changing hands. The downside to this is it's very expensive to do. You can range anywhere from $15 to $50 a wire. If you're paying internationally, you got exchange rates that can be pretty costly, and it's very expensive. The last option is cryptocurrency. In cryptocurrency, it's emerging type of payment. It's a new type of payment. Downside is it's just not very widely used or trusted yet, and most people are very unfamiliar with it. So as we look at these type of payments, and part of that poll question is most people on here are using paper checks and ACH. When we look at this and we talk about the future of B2B payments, paper checks remain the dominant form of payments across markets, even though creating them is so inefficient that they generate high overhead cost. And checks are risky. They got check fraud. It's one of the biggest risks of paying by check. Over nearly 60% of B2B payments in North America are still made with paper checks. Checks account for up to 80% of small to medium-sized business payments. Digital payment forms, including ACH and credit cards, account for only 36% of B2B payments today. And if you just kind of are glancing at this, really by eliminating these checks and moving to an ACH form, a credit card form, some type of digital payment, you're really going to be able to cut your cost by automating your AP up to 75%. And this is potential net savings for businesses who adopt AP automation. And we have another question here before we move on. And this poll question is, how much do you think it costs on average for your business to process an invoice? Got a couple options here. Less than $1, greater than $1, but less than $5. We have another option, $5 to just under 10, and then 10 to 20, or over $20. And I'll leave this up here as well, just for a few moments. All right, looks like we have everyone's response in. And we got a couple of votes for $1 to $5, a couple of votes for 5 to 10, and a couple of votes for over 20. And through a study here that we've done, and a study through other markets here, is B2B payments typically cost a pretty large significant amount. And here's the typical cost breakout of making business payments. Keep in mind that 60% of these payments are still made by paper check. As I mentioned, that creating checks is so inefficient, they generate high overhead cost. And that is reflected here. For a mid-sized business, the cost of an invoice is typically over $16. But if you're a small business, you're typically running at $22 per business payment. If you're a medium business, you're looking at $16. And if you're a larger organization, enterprise organization, you probably already have a lot of software in place, but it's costing roughly around just a little under $10 per payment. And this is just a per payment. So per invoice, it's costing X amount of dollars. And typically small to medium-sized businesses don't have the luxury of affording expensive software or doing built-in integrations in-house. And so they look to more automating and automation technologies such as Bill.com. Now, with B2B payments are huge and inefficient in the market. Rolling these payments processing cuts up to north of North American businesses, spending upwards of $510 billion just to make the business-to-business payments. I mean, 70% of the businesses making B2B payments by check. Businesses spend $22 processing an invoice due to manual processes. It's $510 billion. That's a huge number. That's the primary reason that 70% of businesses are still making B2B payments by paper checks. And that average cost is $22 for a manual process. The cost is primarily made up of headcount as well, and the time it takes to prepare all of this paper. Some of these fees are related to the payment processing, some international, some payments have late fees or return checks. This all adds up to the $510 billion, which is about the annual revenue of Walmart. If you think about Walmart and their annual revenue, small, medium businesses together are spending that much in just making business bill payments. And as we look at the different types of payments out there, we wanted to touch base again on just, all those different types of payments, but make it a little bit more efficient for viewing. And to kind of summarize that and summarize these payments, there's a small picture here of these payments arranged to show you the cost and speed of each type. And all the way at the top, you'll see cryptocurrency is the very lowest cost, and it's fast. The problem with cryptocurrency yet, it's just not trusted and it's not utilized. So not many people will accept it or have the ability to pay in cryptocurrency either. The next kind of lowest cost payment types are ACH and credit cards. These type of digital payments are very achievable for small, medium businesses to take that leap to. Get away from the paper checks, which is your lowest, and really move to that middle ground where they're low cost, fast delivery, and it makes it easy to make those payments. And we have another poll question here, just asking, how do you think your company could benefit from digital payments? We have faster payments, better payment security, online audit trail, paperless and touchless, low risk of theft, reduce processing cost. I'll give just about another 45 seconds to a minute to answer here. All right. So it looks like we have everyone's response in, and it looks like 20% said faster payments, another 20% said better payment security, online audit trail was 13%, paperless and touchless is 33%, and reduce processing cost is 13%. So as we take a look at some more slides here and go through here and talk about the B2B payments and digitalizing your payments, really updating your payment process to digital payments provides a pretty big opportunity to reduce costs and save time. The first thing you'll do is save money by reducing the effort spent on making payments. Next, you'll save time. Digital payments can solve time-consuming B2B payment problems, letting you spend more time on your business. No more late nights getting vendors paid, fees for paying them late, or matching paper invoices to payments. And there's a way to save time and money and provide even more value to your organization by also streamlining your entire AP process. This is the most important and most valuable solution, helping you gain new insight. Why do we say that? Well, let's take a look at a typical AP process. As you're looking at the screen, we can talk about the reality of AP process. If you haven't automated, AP is one of those processes that quietly takes more and more time and effort. The more you grow, the faster you grow, the more complex your process becomes. Most people don't notice that it has become time-consuming and is tedious, manual, and error-prone until there's a sudden change in personnel or sudden change in the business condition. So over the past year, there's been a huge change in business condition. Businesses scrambling to figure out how to work remote, how to process things being remote, There's also been a lot of change in personnel. As businesses are starting to open back up, people are really thinking about moving positions, maybe not going back to work. And so with that, all of a sudden, some of these tasks start to fall on different people. And all of this starts to pile up and pile up. And what this really allowed people to see is that even with simply just capturing the bill, I have to manage an inbox of an email. I have to now think about this email. I have to download this document. I have to go into my accounting software. I have to manually type in all the information regarding this bill. And then I have to upload this bill into document storage. And then I also, next step, I'd have to get approvals. I either have to email them, which causes me to track them outside the system, and they can get lost in people's inboxes. And if anyone is like myself, you get 50, 100 emails a day. Sometimes you forget to click unread, and they just end up lost in the inbox until that someone reminds me. Paying can be also kind of a pain. Tracking those payments, not being able to make all the payments in one system. So while accounting systems can definitely leverage, printing checks, you might be able to create a custom script to do a notcha file. You might have to log into a bank to create ACH payments or do wire payments. You might even have to, if you want to pay by credit card, log into a vendor portal to make that payment. All of that is outside of your core financial system. All of that is multiple different ways, multiple different systems you have to manage. And you have to remember to continually record that back into your accounting software as well. And so even with the reconciliation process, with all of that going on, it's very tedious. Different bank records I got to go through and reconcile manually into that accounting system. Different types of payments, I got to make sure checks clear, which ones are outstanding, which ACH payments might have bounced. All of that is done outside of a system in different types of systems, and it doesn't all report back to the core accounting financial system. And so when we take a look at this inefficient, manual, costly AP process, it's based off of paper checks. It's based off of human error. It's based off of manual data entry, manual routing for approval, manual reconciliation, paying out of multiple systems. And so when we look at how to gain AP efficiency, when we look at AP efficiency, instead of a manual process, we still keep it in 4 easy steps, because it is a holistic approach to what is happening as in your back office, not just one side of it where it's just data entry, or it's not just the opposite side where it's just payments, but the entire process from beginning to end. And so instead of a manual, error-prone, messy process, AP automation with Bill.com solves pain. We create efficiencies with accounts payable in 4 simple paperless steps. It starts with receiving a bill automatically into our system. You can do it via email, you can drag and drop, you can even utilize our mobile application to snap a picture. Our artificial intelligence, IVA, known as Intelligent Virtual Assistant, will capture that information within seconds. It'll read that bill. No more data entry. Now you're just reviewing versus actually entering in data and providing document, trying to figure out where to store the document. The next step is streamlining the bill through the approval process. Automatically, once data is captured, it gets reviewed, see those approvers on there, send it off to those approvers, and those approvers can do this approval from anywhere. Our award-winning mobile application allows them to see the document, see all the coding and detailing, even have collaborative messaging internally with the team to make sure they're approving the right bill, make sure that the services were completed, that the products were received. All of it is right there. And because it's on a mobile application, for those non-financial users, they find this really intuitive and easy to use. It's as simple as opening up a social media app. It's as simple as opening up a little game app. It's very simple, convenient for those users. The next thing is, once they're approved by your department managers, department individuals, you can pay with a click of a button. Not only can you just pay with a click of a button, but you have a full audit of who approved it, what they might have left comment-wise, and now you can make payments, all types of payments, inside of one platform. So within one platform, you can make domestic ACH payments, You can make international wires, virtual card, and check payments with a click. You don't have to log into a bank to make ACH or wire transfers. You don't have to log into a vendor portal online to make a credit card payment. And you don't have to print out and manually sign checks anymore. All of it can be done through Bill.com, and we'll process all those payments for you. And that leads to an easy reconciliation with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central and Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains. This leads to easier audits as well. So with this, it really takes that manual reconciliation. Okay, a credit card payment I made a check payment, I made a wire payment, I made an ACH payment. I have to go into my accounting software now and reconcile those, show that the check is cleared, show that domestic wire has gone through, the ACH is cleared. Got to do all of those things to make sure those bills are shown as cleared and paid. With our automatic sync, we'll reconcile those payments to the accounting software, to Dynamics 365 Business Central and Dynamics Great Plains. Very easy to do, creates less work, less manual labor, less error-prone, just natural human error-prone tendencies, and creates efficiency and easy audits. This paperless utopia can help you save up to 50% more time by eliminating the manual work associated with processing paper, invoices, and checks, getting approvals, and recording payments in your accounting system. It's very simple and easy. As we talk about these transformations, we're looking at transforming AP pain, AP struggles, AP concerns into AP efficiency. So we've shown you AP automation with Bill.com's transformation with AP pain to AP efficiency. It changes the focus from a history-driven AP workflow to a future-proofing AP workflow. You can be agile, you can be nimble for any change in business condition. And so when we look at this, we're looking at the traditional AP focused on history, and we're looking at how it's going to be transformed AP forward looking and agile. So manual and repetitive process, storing paper documents, storing documents manually, in a cloud environment, very repetitive data entry can be eliminated through artificial intelligence, fast and automated. Scanning and storing papers can be paperless in the cloud. Access anywhere, real-time views, insight to everything you need. Chasing down approvers turns into right in my back pocket. Putting my AP process right in my back pocket through a mobile application, audit trails, and reminders. Sending checks now becomes digital payments with a click. 4 different types of payments: ACH, credit card, check, international wire transfers, all in one simple platform. And then the manual reconciliation, it becomes an automated sync with Microsoft Dynamics. Very simple, syncs automatically with the system, eliminating double entry, eliminating that human touch, eliminating the manual error. All happens all within here. It's definitely something that is great to do. And with this, when we look at this and we look at AP automation, we're going to specifically talk about Bill.com. And Bill.com is a market leader in AP automation. With the AP automation, we have hundreds of customers using GP and Business Central. They were using it with an import-export until recently. We did a full integrated sync. Now we offer a 2-way automatic sync with both GP and 365 Business Central. The great thing about our sync is it's built on history. 15 years of doing B2B payments. We've had many years of practice at syncs, and so these syncs are built off existing sync platforms, which makes it easy to set up and sync. We can get you started in days, not weeks. When you think about implementing software, sometimes you look at implementing software and it can take months. It could take many months. It could take 30, 60, 90 days to fully get going. With Bill.com, we can get you implemented in just a few hours, and we can get you trained in another few hours. So typical time to get Bill.com up and running will take the team less than 5 hours. And in 5 hours, you can utilize Bill.com to its fullest capability and have your paperless utopia. We're a proven solution with over 109,000 customers utilizing Bill.com today. We have top partners like Paradigm, who are also invested in just helping their clients streamline their process, helping them look at all the technology out there to make this an easy financial process. We also have a partner agreement as well with the AICPA and CPA.com. We're the only business bill payment solution to be partnered with them. So we are also utilized amongst thousands of bookkeeping firms as they utilize our technology to streamline their services. As they offer AP or AR as a service, they utilize Bill.com as that technology to do that between them and their customers. With the backing of CPA.com, auditors love Bill.com. It makes it simple and easy. Everything's in one place. They have specific roles designed for auditors to be able to get in and out and see exactly what they need to. We also have our money transmitting license or money transfer license, MTL, in all 50 states. We're the only business bill payment solution also to have that in all 50 states. Each state has its own compliances. We can operate as our own bank and move money freely within those 50 states. We have our SOC type 1s and type 2 reports as well, also helping with audits and confirming the type of securities that we have in Bill.com. And we move over $113 billion annually. We process $113 billion. This flows through Bill.com, through the businesses, anywhere from small mom and pop to enterprise companies utilizing the system, all to save time and money digitizing their payments. We'll take a look at a few customer quotes here. Thumbtack, they're an online service that matches customers with local professionals. Says that Bill.com is the heart of everything they do. Our end-to-end AP automation starts with the capture of invoices, flows through approvals and payments, and provides detailed audit trails that are easy to see. And this all comes from Corrine Collins, Senior Accountant. We also have Emerge Diagnostics is delivering a new way to determine the location and age of soft tissue injury. With an automated AP process that is easy to use, our customers can grow without needing to add AP personnel. They can spend new resources in other areas in the finance team. So if you look at the quote directly, we're saving them at least $35K per year in bill overpayments. They were facing a lot of bill overpayments. Approvals were getting lost. And Bob Thompson, the CEO, really found the way to not have late payments, a way to keep everybody on track with auto reminders, making sure bills were getting processed, making sure all bills were entered, making sure they were getting approved, all of it through here. Merchant eSolution offers global payment solutions for sales channels, including e-commerce, mail orders, and scheduled payments. The at-a-glance dashboard lets our customers very quickly keep on top of the status of their payments, and it lets them resolve any payment questions very quickly and easily. This is Lori Brown, the Senior Vice President and Corporate Controller, and she's just blown away by how intuitive and simple it is. It's just a beautiful dashboard, she says, and it just allows me to instantly see the status of every invoice, giving her insight to everything that is needed. Quicken. Quicken is the best-selling personal software in the US. Unlike other systems, Bill.com integrates very quickly with our accounting software. Most customers are up and running within a couple of days. Just very simple and unbelievably simple for Gary Hornbeek, the CFO. They can, right here in the quote, you can start it immediately, and that's true. And so as we listen to these customer testimonials, we're going to ask another poll question here. And the poll question is, what's the biggest benefit your company would get by automating your AP system? Spend less time on AP, go paperless, get more insight into payables, make approvals easier, manage AP from my mobile phone. I'll leave this up here for another 45 seconds to a minute. All right. So it looks like here, got the responses. 16% of you said spend 50% less time on AP. 66% of you said go paperless. 16% said make approvals easier. That's great. So as we look at this, and we just kind of listen to a few customer testimonials and quotes, we're just going to take a look at our NASCAR slide here. As you can see, there's just anywhere from small, medium businesses to accounting firms, large clients, mid-sized clients, all within here. Franchises, companies, not-for-profit, technology, retail, restaurants, all of it, anyone in these industries and many more industries can utilize it. And now what I'd like to show you is just how easy it is to use Bill.com. So we'll go through a couple of screenshots here and talk about just that workflow within Bill.com. At first, you have a dedicated inbox. This inbox has an email address assigned to it that you can give out to all of your vendors. It's got a drag and drop option. It even has an upload option. What happens is when we capture bills directly into the system, especially when they're emailed into the system from a vendor, the Intelligent Virtual Assistant, IVA, it starts right here. It boosts productivity by eliminating the manual work of scanning in invoices and streamlining process by starting the bill for you. There are 3 ways to get the bill into the system, as I mentioned a little earlier. You can email, you can drag and drop, you can upload, there's actually a 4th way. You can use your mobile application as well to get it right into the system. And that Intelligent Virtual Assistant, IVA, will catch duplicates. It will notify you if it can't read a document as well. It even is smart enough to read handwritten documents. So it is able to provide that ability to create and populate that information, automatically assigning this bill to the vendor record and populating all that information that is very important. So not only the vendor record, but it'll show you the last 5 bills that were paid to that vendor. It'll catch if it's a duplicate. It'll line up the invoice number, the invoice date, the due date. It'll have the amount. It'll start to understand and learn, as it is an artificial intelligence, your GL accounts, your dimensions. All of that will happen through the artificial intelligence. It'll even learn which approvers have been on this bill before. So it'll put those approvers on there before. You can set up approval policy amounts as well. For example, if a bill is equal to or greater than $5,000, you must have 2 approvers on there, and one of them must be your CFO. If this is the case and you set this up, as a bill flows into Bill.com, and the bill happens to be over $5,000 at that time, and the person who's reviewing this bill doesn't quite catch that, they'll get a little message letting them know, hey, this needs more than 2 approvers, and one of those approvers, doesn't matter how many you have on there, has to be your CFO because the bill's over $5,000. So we'll help create this utopia of eliminating the potential human error. You can also set up either or approvals, and we call it group approvals. So if I have an IT group, I can put in any of the 4 IT individuals can approve a bill. I can create that group, assign that group to the bill. And as long as one of those 3 individuals underneath that group approves the bill, it'll automatically go on to the next step. And this approval makes it simple and easy to do. And what we'll do is we'll look at that approval process. So once you create it, get it off to the approvers, makes it simple. The user interface for approvals is very simple. Not only that, but their options are made simple within Bill.com. So we make it very easy for them to know exactly what to do. And so approvers are straightforward. The system can be set up for you auto reminders. You don't have to chase them down. They don't get lost in an inbox. They don't get lost on the desk and paper invoices. Approvers can see the invoice number, the bill image itself, vendor dates, due dates, net terms, total amounts, GL accounts, dimensions. All of it is there. They have collaborative messaging within Bill.com, so they can ask their colleagues any information about the bill before they feel comfortable approving it. We have on a daily basis over 8,000 messages, collaborative messages left inside of Bill.com. And with our award-winning mobile application, they can do it on the go. We can do all of this right in our back pocket, from creating a bill to approving, even to paying. Most of our users on the mobile application are approvers, as it just makes it simple for them to do, especially your non-financial users. But they can see everything right here, from all the bills that they need to approve to each individual bill, the image of the bill, all the coding and detailing, and they can even leave collaborative messaging and get this back in real time, the answers to making sure they can approve these bills. Once bills are gone through the approval process, they're ready for payment. And so with the payments application here, it makes it very easy to see right away on your dashboard when you log in how many bills are needed to be paid, are due in 7 days, due in 7+ days, might be overdue, even how many approvers have bills that are in their name for approval and how long they've had them for. Can you imagine just logging in here and saying, oh, it looks like Mitchell Yee has 5 bills in greater than 10 days. Let me click on that number there and see what it is. Let me message him right on the system to make sure he gets these approved so we don't get late payments. The CFO or controller or VP who needs to sign or pay bills can now just dive right into that bill pay screen. And when they dive right into that bill pay screen, what they'll be taken to is a screen of bills that have been approved, and they're ready for them to make the payments. And they'll see all their different types of payments in here, from not only the invoice number, the vendor name, they can see notes and hover over the notes to get a quick glimpse of what was discussed about the bill. They can click on the image of the bill if they need to see the image and more details of the coding. And they'll see what type of payment is going out to that vendor, whether it's a check payment, a wire payment, an ACH payment, virtual card payment. They have all of that to view here. And it's a simple click of a button to make those payments. They can select a few, they can select many, and schedule all of those bills. What's great about the system too as well is you have full control over when you want these payments to go out and how you want these payments to go out. So it's all up to you on how you'd like to make payments and when you'd like to make them. And it's all something that we do very easily within our system, and it all syncs and integrates back to Dynamics 365 Business Central and Dynamics Great Plains. When we look at some of the syncing with here as well, put a little sneak peek into the process here. But this is a sync overview for Dynamics 365 Business Central, and everything on the outer edges of the arrows will be a full sync loop through the system. And with a two-way integrated sync, we have everything from chart of accounts, project jobs, locations, items, many other dimensions that will sync back and forth. We also have systems that will go from Bill.com to your software, credit memos, unpaid bills, unpaid invoices, applied credit memos, customer vendors, classification, dimensions. We have full AP payments, partial payments, credit memos, funds transfers. All of that will go back into the system. So we will place all of that back into the system. Your system will be up to date. It'll run automatically once every 24 hours, or you can just hit a sync now button and it allow it to sync right then and there to have the most update information into your software. When we look at the sync overview for Dynamics GP, it's very similar. You have things that go from your software to Bill.com, you have two-way sync, and you have Bill.com to your software. And all of it is very similar within there. As you can see, there are just a few differences, as GP is slightly different than Dynamics 365, but all of this will sync. And the sync is simple and easy to set up. Remember, just a few hours, not weeks, not months, just a few hours. And what all of this means is, as I talked about it earlier, the different types of payments that businesses use, showing you how costly it is, and the risky and most familiar types of payments there is paper checks. I've shown you how typical AP process works. No one intends that their process payments is that inefficient and expensive. It just happens over time as companies grow and people change roles. I've shown you how you can streamline your payment process with Bill.com, making it easy and efficient. With your AP process running smoothly and easily automated and paperless, you'll gain something that your customers love. You'll be able to spend your time on your core mission instead of chasing down paper checks and approvers. And what this really means as we take a look at this again, it's just transforming AP that's focused on history and transforming AP to forward looking and agile. And as we come, kind of to an end of this here, we'll have a couple more poll questions and then we'll open up for Q&A. But this manual and repetitive, fast and automated. Scanning and storing becomes paperless in the cloud. Chasing down approvers, mobile audit trails and reminders. Sending checks becomes digital payments with a click. Manual reconciliation becomes automated sync with Microsoft Dynamics. Very simple and easy to do, and how we'll be able to change that automation. And with our couple of last poll questions here, we'll go ahead and put what's most important when you're buying a software tool. Is it security of the solution? Is it syncs with your existing tools? Is it peers recommend it? Is the fast and easy integration? Or is it pricing?
And Mitchell, just so everybody knows, I'm not seeing this poll question on my polls. So if everybody could just go ahead and put in the chat what their answer would be to this, that would be appreciated. For some reason, this one did not get captured there. So I apologize for that.
I apologize too, Michael. That's also a mistake too as well. So I do apologize. But if you can, please put that into the chat, that would be great. I'm seeing a couple answers come in. I'll give just about another 30 seconds here. All right. And we'll go into our last poll question here, which is just simply, are you interested in hearing more about Bill.com? I'll leave this up for just a little bit here. Love to know if you're interested. As you do answer this question, we can also work through Paradigm Solutions as well, technology consultants. Happy to work through our partner, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to them, or you can also reach out to myself here as well. So Mitchell Yee, Senior Manager of Channel Partnerships. When you do reach out, please just let me know that you are working and did see this webinar through Paradigm, so we can work with Paradigm to ensure that we are providing the best experience for you and the best solution possible. And with that, Michael, if you don't mind, I think we can open it up to questions.
All right, great. So if anyone has any questions, if you want to specifically ask the question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Otherwise, if you want to go ahead and put that into the comment area or the question area, chat area, that would be great. Mitchell, while people are doing that, I did have a couple of questions that came in earlier. I guess people were anticipating this session. So
Sure.
um, one of the questions is, uh, do you take money out of our account ahead of time or at the time of payments?
We take the money out of your account at the time of payments, and to elaborate on that, we have something called a process date. And that process date is simply when you tell us to make the payments, whether it's a check, an ACH, wire transfer, virtual card. So you can schedule something, 30 days out. You can schedule something to go out as early as tomorrow. But if you selected a date today of, let's say, hey, I want to make the payment on these 5 bills tomorrow, we will debit the funds from your account tomorrow, and we will mail out a check first thing in the morning. We'll make those ACH payments. If part of those payments are ACH or wire transfer, virtual card, it'll all be done tomorrow. So it'll be at the time of what we call a process date, the day you tell us to make the payment.
Okay, so essentially, what we're getting at there is you're not pre-funding any account, in an account that then you're taking it down. It's essentially happening at the time of payment. So that's very handy for clients there.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Let's see. We have any other questions out here? I did have another one that came in earlier as well. It was, I know they're going over AP stuff today. Does Bill.com have anything on the cash receipt side as well?
Um, Maybe we can elaborate with the cash receipt
I
side.
guess on the receivables.
Receivables. Yes, we do. We have a great integrated process for accounts receivables as well. It is a very kind of traditional invoicing. You invoice for services or goods, and the client can click on that invoice that they receive via email, and it takes them to a free portal where they can see all of their invoices in the past. They can manage those invoices, pay them, they can download them. But it provides a free portal to them that really simply allows them to pay electronically, either by ACH or a credit card, typically, is the two ways through that portal. So some of the benefits of our accounts receivable is we do have automated reminders. We do have that portal that acts as a statement for those individuals who want to see all of their invoices that are there. See the ones that are past paid. They can even ask questions about invoices through there. You can even do document sharing. So if they had signed terms and agreements or a contract, you can actually share it with them through that portal through Bill.com, and they can download it through there as well. And then there's also some tracking tools too. So a couple other things that we have.
Right, great. Yeah, I know this was, you know, geared towards the AP side of things, but it's always good to let people know that there are some other options within your solution as well. It does look like we have a question here. What is the turnaround time for checks? For example, if I enter an invoice today, can it be processed today, or does it have to be the next day?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So that question is a great question. It does have to be processed tomorrow. So the earliest we would be able to mail out a check would be tomorrow. And part of that is because within the system, we have to send through the bank rails that, hey, you'd like to process a payment as soon as possible. So as long as you get it in by 5:59 Pacific Standard Time, PM. So PM 5:59 PM Pacific Standard Time today, we can process a payment as early as tomorrow, whether it's an ACH, or a wire transfer, a virtual card. We can do it, right away the next day. Now, checks typically have a payment timing of arrival they are first class mail, so they'll arrive anywhere between 3 to 5 business days. We do have something that is called fast pay. And the fast pay is something that you can utilize, that we can actually do an overnight check, or a 2-day overnight check, or a 3-day overnight check. And these are guaranteed with FedEx tracking numbers. So for you to process a bill today and say, hey, I want to be able to pay it as soon as possible, we can get it there tomorrow through utilizing FedEx and doing a next day fast pay payment.
Very good. Hopefully that answers that question. Any other questions out there? Oh, Mitchell, how about the age-old question?
Mhm.
What does it cost?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So we charge on two different things. So on an annual kind of cost, you will see two types of cost. One we classify as user cost. So anyone who needs to access the system, and depending on what type of access to the system, there's different costs for those people who need to access and what level of access. So with our permissions rules-based user rules, you can have someone who has an approver, which is really your lowest cost, that really just needs the simplest access to the system, just needs to be able to view the image, kind of see it. That's our lowest cost user fee. And then someone like an administrator who needs to set it up, manage users, maybe even manage which bank accounts are being paid from, that's going to be probably your highest cost. So you kind of have two user costs within an area. So we classify that as a user cost and then transaction. So only if you make payments through Bill.com, we'll have different transaction costs based on a check, an ACH, wire, or virtual card. There's different costs to each one, but those will be kind of your two categories we'll be able to assess when we talk to each of you individually. You know, what type of users you have, what type of access, what are they doing currently now, will determine kind of what access they need in Bill.com. And then what type of payments you're making will allow us to help you determine, you know, the payment cost as well. What's great about that is just charging on those two fronts is that there is no document storage fee. There is no data entry fee. So for utilizing IVA and our artificial intelligence, there's no fee for that as well. And it's all included in there, including our positive pay as well, and all the securities we have is all included in the system.
Great. So yeah, if anybody is interested in, figuring out what the costs would be, we can certainly have a discussion around, what your requirements are, and then we can put something together for you. So, and it looks like we're coming right up against the hour here. So, I don't see any other questions coming in. Um, just, I guess, Mitchell, do you have anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for everyone's time. I really appreciate you joining today and appreciate Paradigm as well too, and Michael just to put this together for us. We hope to be able to speak with you, and if you have interest, please reach out to Michael, reach out to myself, and we'll make sure everyone is in the loop to provide you with the best type of solution, the best pricing as well through a partner. But thank you very much for joining, and may you all be safe out there as things start to open back up. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We will be sending out a questionnaire at the end, within the next couple days here. We'd really like your feedback on that so we can continue to provide the best type of solutions to our clients and the best information out there. So, again, thank you all for joining us. As Mitchell said, be safe. Thank you.